with a crowdfunding campaign, like you can send people updates and people then feel like they are involved with the film. Like they are the reason that it's being made. It's their film.
You're listening to Talk Doc to Me, a podcast for documentary filmmakers that dives deep into the art of documentary through conversations with filmmakers and industry professionals. I'm your host, Leah DeLeon, and today I have the honor and pleasure to have one of my best friends on the first episode, Miss Jordyn Romero. Jordyn is a documentary filmmaker. She is a visionary director, incredible cinematographer, and wears all the hats to create inspiring films that amplify the voices of diverse women in the outdoor industry. She's worked with brands such as Vans, White Claw, and GoPro. Her films have premiered at Oscar qualifying festivals, won jury and audience awards, and played in over 20 countries around the world. Wow. Her most recent film, We Are Like Waves, was released with the Los Angeles Times. Welcome, Jordyn.
Hello, hello. I'm so happy to be here, my dear friend.
This is exciting. I feel like we talk doc all the time, but in this setting, I'm excited to get into the nitty gritties of crowdfunding and just chatting about making this film with you.
Yeah, true. I gotta make sure that I remember we are recording because we might
have a lot of inside jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of tangents, a lot of doc stuff. So
yeah. But yeah, we were brainstorming about what topic to take on this. We could have gone a million different ways, but I think crowdfunding is hard. And together we raised over $10,000 crowdfunding. So
over our goal.
Over our goal. So I think that we have some good things to share with the peeps. So Jordyn, are you ready to talk doc to me?
Let's talk doc, baby.
So first, some quick cues to help our audience get to know you better. We'll keep your answers short and sweet. Where were you born?
I was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And where do you currently live?
Right now I live in Santa Barbara, California.
And you love it there, right?
Oh, I'm obsessed. That could be a whole podcast episode of how I've found the best place on earth. But yeah, it's great because I split my time now, mostly in Santa Barbara, but I go back to Santa Fe quite often to get my forest and desert fix. Also, all 4 seasons, some snow here and there. So yeah, I think I've kind of figured it out.
What was your first job ever?
My first job ever, I was a hostess at a restaurant. My first cool job was I worked at the ski mountain in the sports shop where I got 2-hour ski breaks every shift.
Dang. Okay, and then first job in the film industry.
I mean, it'll be a funny one, but here I remember I think it might have been while I was still at Chapman, and I had to edit like a slideshow for this nonprofit, just classic talking head B-roll.
Hey, but you got paid for it.
And you got paid for it. I think I got paid like $300, and I thought that, and I spent probably 14 days making it, and I thought I made it.
You start somewhere, right? You start somewhere. Okay, and where did you go to school?
I went to Chapman University in Southern California.
Same as me. That's how we met, basically. What did you study?
I studied documentary filmmaking.
Same as me. That's how we met. Top 3 places you've served.
Oh, top 3 places I've served. The Galapagos. We're going to go extreme here. The Galapagos, Costa Rica, where you and me went and filmed my thesis, and C Street in California. Well, shout out to C Street.
Okay.
Big waves.
And what are you shooting on these days?
Right now, in my personal quiver, I have a red Komodo and my Sony A7 Mark III and a drone.
Nice.
And an 8mm camera.
Awesome. Honestly, so
the coolest one of all.
So. Recent documentary you loved.
I watched Torn, which is made by blank low, and it made me cry a lot. It was really quite, God, what was it called? It's called Torn. I highly recommend. It's on Disney Plus.
Okay, I have to check that out. And last question, how long have we been friends?
We've been friends. We met in 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, we became friends in 2016 because
Yeah,
then
basically.
Leah randomly moved into my house.
Yeah, we became roommates. And then
Yeah.
we started making films together.
Isn't that crazy?
So
Just live with people. It's fine.
Okay, now the fun part. Thank you for the quick answers. Let's get into crowdfunding. How we ended up raising over $10,000. So we'll get to that, but first, I guess the basics of We Are Like Waves. Let's talk about that. What is We Are Like Waves? You can even like read off the log line. Honestly, like read the log line. What is it?
We're Like Waves is an intimate look into how surfing changes Sanu's life, documenting the struggles and breakthroughs of becoming one of the first female Sri Lankan surfers.
Wow, beautiful. And how did you find the story?
Found this story. My friend has a podcast, or used to have a podcast called the Salted Spirit Podcast. She interviews water women all over the world, and she happened to be interviewing one of the co-founders of Sea Sisters, which is an organization in Sri Lanka that teaches local girls and women how to swim and how to surf. And so it was one of those stories that I kept thinking about for weeks and weeks, and on a whim decided to send them an Instagram DM asking if I could come to Sri Lanka, if there's any characters in their organization that stood out. And
this was right after we graduated? Question mark?
yes,
Yeah.
I was essentially having like the post-graduation, what am I doing with my life? And
The classic.
This is the classic, and this is the film that sort of was, it was like, oh, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. And so, yeah.
And what about the story like stuck with you so much? Like what made you be like, nope, like this is it. Like I'm doing this no matter what. Boom.
I don't know. I think it was initially just the fact that it was a story about a female and surfing story, which is close to my heart because I am a surfer, and I'm a newer surfer. I didn't learn how to surf until I moved to California to go to Chapman, and just all of the barriers that I faced when even in just sunny Southern California, where it seemingly every girl surfs, it was so hard to become a surfer and be respected in the water. And so hearing this story, I don't know, it checked a lot of other boxes too. It's a travel story, it's a documentary, and then the fact that after the first conversation with the co-founders, just hearing what it's like in Sri Lanka and just feeling their passion about the issue there, I just knew that it could be universal, and it may be a story rooted in surfing, but it really has a universal message. And if anything, we're recording this podcast a week after Roe v. Wade has been taken from us. It just feels like this is my calling for uplifting women, because there's a war up on us. Mm-hmm. There's a war on women, and I'm over it, and I'm just this is the film that I knew would help.
And filmmaking is our activism. I feel like art is activism and filmmaking is activism as well. So that's at least how I feel like we can be part of that change. And so then when you decided that you were postgraduate, you didn't have that much money, right? So how did you afford to go to Sri Lanka? And tell me about that story about how you pulled out a personal loan. How much did you pull out? Why were you scared? Like, walk me through that.
Well, this goes off of what we were just talking about. Like, I just felt so drawn to this story, and I just knew that it was going to be amazing. It was before I even got there. It was just this deep feeling that I knew that this story was going to be successful in more ways than just, in looking at a movie as like a business. But that being said, it was all sort of timing, right? So I sent the DM, decided to go in November, and they told me that the season it ends in March. So
You got to go.
I decided to go like Thanksgiving weekend. So I had a month to get there. So there's no way that I was going to be able to fund this through a grant or through a brand. It's also Thanksgiving, it's the holidays. Nobody's going to respond to an email or call. So I didn't have a lot of options. I maybe could have afforded a plane ticket over there, but that was going to be it because I was fresh out of school and I was freelancing. I didn't know how to save money. And so once I realized that those weren't going to be an option, I took a pretty heavy risk and decided to get a personal loan of
With your bank?
$10,000 with a bank, yes. Which,
How does one even do that? You just walk up to the bank and be like, hey, I want $10,000?
kind of, yeah. I'm trying to remember now I think that I told them it was going to be an investment in my production company, which I guess it is in
It
the
is.
grand scheme. I had to have a proof of the business. So I did technically have an LLC in New Mexico
Okay.
that I.
So on behalf of your business, you pulled out. It was a business loan.
Yes, I guess that's a better way to put it. Yeah, I think that's actually more correct now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Um,
And how long did it take for you to get that money? Like when you applied, like they probably like ran your credit, right?
Yeah, so luckily I've had a credit card for a while. So I had a credit score, a decent credit score. And I had to fill out, I think, 3 different forms. And I mean, especially like, I was like 19, 18. I was just barely 19. And so, I mean, actually $10,000 is kind of a lot to get from a bank. I'm
impressed, honestly. Like I've never pulled out or like I've never even taken out a business loan, and I feel like that's a huge risk to just like walk up to the bank and be like, "Give me 10K, I got this."
Yeah, no, it definitely was a huge risk, and I definitely is able to come from a place of like the privilege of being able to have that relationship with risk and be able to not only take out a loan, but then be away for 2 months,
right?
Not being able to work to
That's true.
Pay the loan off. And that was all with it. I mean, worst case, I knew that I would have a backup plan. It's like, okay, absolute worst case, I could probably go move in with my mom and
there
work
is a certain
at a restaurant until I can pay off the loan.
Yeah, there is a certain level of privilege that comes with, I mean, unfortunately, getting started in the documentary industry because you need money to survive and make your film, and making films take a really long time.
So long. Exactly.
So then Jordyn pulled out her loan, and then, of course, Jordyn and I are friends, and she told me about this, and then I think we were in line for Poke or something, and you were like, I think you were literally telling me as I was trying to order, and you're like, you want to be my producer? You want to come to Sri Lanka? So I ended up joining Jordyn in Sri Lanka and helping her all throughout the process. And it's been a crazy ride, like in preparing for this and looking at our crowdfunding notes, like, we didn't know much, but we knew enough to get by. So this is what I'm excited to share, some of our secrets and some of our resources that we did for crowdfunding. So I guess first, why did we choose to crowdfund? Like, let's talk about like what makes a film crowdfundable, if you will.
That's a great question. So I feel like funding a documentary, and there's probably more options than this. You can go to the route of getting a grant, or multiple grants. You can crowdfund. You can partner with a brand or another organization.
Or you can do a lot of them together because, yeah.
Or you can get an angel investor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think why we landed on crowdfunding is we kind of chopped brands because Sanu is the main character of We Are Like Waves. She is a local girl. Like, leave the small town that she grew up in. Nobody's going to know who she is. Right? So, from a brand perspective, that's not a lot of eyeballs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least
that's
that's
a good,
how I
yeah,
would see it.
yeah. And then I'll chime in too. I think crowdfunding, it works really well when you do have a social issue attached to it, or you have, and I feel like we did, our mission and impact was getting more diverse women on waves, right? Like that is something a lot of people can get behind. So I think if you have a story that's universal, can be compelling, that someone would want to donate to, like on the surface, like even without knowing our story specifically, like just knowing the overall mission, I would say, like if you have a mission attached to your film, then I think that crowdfunding is a good route to go, because then it's really about like rallying the people around to just donate a little bit, and it all adds up to one bigger sum. So if you think that you can attract, I think we had 152 backers. If you can attract, 100, 200 people from your social networks, like crowdfunding is a great option.
I agree. I think that's a good point. It rallies the people. And
it rallies the people.
Creates a community around the film because, and we'll get probably more detail, but like with a crowdfunding campaign, like you can send people updates and people then feel
right.
like they are involved with the film. Like they are the reason that it's being made. It's their film. It's
right.
like
they feel a part of it.
Company. Exactly.
It's
like buying a share of a company, and like you want it to succeed. And obviously it's not like a stock because it doesn't grow. You're not going to get your money back, but it's because, either they support the people putting it on, they're like family, friends, or they're strangers that are like, yeah, like this story deserves to be told and I want to help that happen. It gives people a purpose to be, and an easy way to help.
Yeah, I like that. And why did we choose IndieGoGo? Like, I remember some of our discussions. I think our options were IndieGoGo, GoFundMe, and maybe there were some other smaller platforms, but I'm pretty sure we were just down to IndieGoGo and GoFundMe.
Yes, and I think when we were weighing the options, like the biggest decision factor was like, okay, how much information can we put on a page?
Does it look good? I also know that's like super important to you, and I think the overall branding and marketing of We Are Like Waves is that everything was gorgeous. Like it was very cinematic. I took lots of BTS photos that we used everywhere. That helped a lot. And I felt like GoFundMe was kind of, and it's also like the overall feeling of the platform. Like GoFundMe is kind of like, oh dang, like I, got knee surgery and I need help now. It's like a very personal platform, versus IndieGoGo was something that's more, yeah, like we're indie filmmakers. Like it's creative. It's a little bit more startup-y. So it felt like a better fit. And then also, I guess in regards to the fees, IndieGoGo charges a 5% platform fee on all funds raised by or for your campaign. And the fees are calculated and deducted from the funds you actually raise. So not the goal you set. That was another issue. The other one that we kind of talked about was like Kickstarter. And like that doesn't make sense either, because we're like, okay, but like if we don't hit 10K, like I still want that 5K.
Exactly.
So that's why that's why Kickstarter was like definitely not it. Okay, so then IndieGoGo has 5% platform fee, and then they also have a payment processing fee. So 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. And we'll actually tell you the overall breakdown of what that was. And then just in comparison for GoFundMe, there's no fee to start or manage your fundraiser. The payment processors do deduct one small transaction fee per donation. The same thing, 2.9% plus 30 cents. And I think that like transaction fee is pretty standard across the board in researching things. But yeah, we chose IndieGoGo because it felt like the right fit, and we were able to upload videos and have cool perks and have like good email marketing through there. Yeah, anything else you want to add about why we chose IndieGoGo, Jordyn?
No, you hit. I think it came down to fees and look, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, yeah, let's jump into strategy. So when we were like, okay, like we want to raise money, I guess first, how did we set our goal? Like, how do we decide, 10,000 is a good number?
I mean, realistically, it was probably because the loan was $10,000, and I was like,
Right.
I mean, we went into this film with the understanding that this was a full passion project. Our goals, I think it's important to talk about the film goals. The film goals was to tell a kick-ass story, but personally, it was, to have a really strong film in our portfolio that would hopefully lead to other opportunities in our careers. And we didn't have the goal of, all right, let's like make money off this thing. That was
Right.
never the goal.
Right.
So really, we were just trying to not
Make our
lose
money
money,
back.
make our
Yeah.
money back, not lose money, and make something great. So I
Right.
think that is why, and I don't know. I think at first we were like, oh yeah, maybe 5,000, and then I think I was like, nah, I think we need to do 10, and we both kind of like our stomachs
It
sank a little
it
bit. We're like
sounded
10.
scary. It was like $10,000. Like that seems like a lot, you
Yeah,
know?
well, it's not like you're asking your friends, and it's like
Right.
I can't even imagine being like, hey, Leah, can I borrow $20? Like, that would be weird to me. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
asking your friends and your
Well,
family for money, which is hard. It's hard to do. So $10,000 of other people's money, people like you and me, like that's an ambitious goal, in my opinion.
and we
So,
did it.
and we're not delivering like a product. Like, it's
Right.
not like donate $100 because we're making these sick watches and you're going to get first access to the watch at a discounted price. Like,
Right. Yeah.
that's what's unique about also funding a documentary through crowdfunding. And
Yeah.
so I think that's how we found that number. And I
Yeah.
think the very first, strategy wise, I think there's a bunch of different pillars. There was the timeline.
I was gonna jump into the timeline
Yeah,
next.
yeah. I don't know how you want to go next. You
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
have
I
this
know.
all mapped out.
I know. It's like it's a lot. It's a lot to wrap our heads around. Okay, so first, just how much money did we raise through Indiegogo? Total amount.
We raised $10,858.
So we exceeded our goal.
We exceeded our goal by almost 1,000.
God bless. And then with the Indiegogo fees, how much were the fees from that?
The fees were $542.90.
Okay. And then so that means the net total, like what we were able to take home was
Oh wait, there's also the payment processing fees, and that
oh
was
sorry.
$287.70.
Got it.
So we took home $9,927.40.
Yes.
But don't be
So
fooled, because this is a whole other section I'm sure we'll dive in. That's how much we made from the campaign. We made technically even less because we had to pay for people's perks.
oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, let's talk about perks. What is a perk?
A perk. Well, that's another reason why we picked IndieGoGo, is because we could have perks. And perks make it even more simple for a quote customer or donator.
It's like a little prize.
It's a little prize, exactly.
It's like a little lollipop, It's like go to the doctor's office, here's a lollipop.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And it kind of like helps. Like, I'm putting myself in the shoes of someone who wants to donate. I show up to the page. I'm like, oh God, how much should I donate? Like,
Right.
I want to give them $5. Do I want to give them $50? And so perks is kind of like an easy, like, all right, this is probably how much I should expect to pay them.
Right.
And it gives me different levels of of wanting to. Because I mean, I'm sure lots of people would love to give us as much money as they can, but it's just not an option. So if they can justify it, where like, oh, I get this cool perk in exchange, then there's value.
Right, right. And it makes it easy. When you come to the page, you're like, oh, look at all these perks. Pick one. Like, I'm pretty sure no one would be like, you know what? I think today I'm just going to donate like $52.
Exactly.
Like randomly.
Random. So random. And I think we did a really good job of picking our perks.
Yeah, why don't you go through the list and just like all the tiers? Like, let's just get nitty gritty. Tell me everything, how much we charged for it, and then how many people did it. Again, we had 152 backers, so you'll kind of see like which ones are popular.
Let's see. So our cheapest donation was $10. That was $10. 12 people did it. And that was simply, hey, I'm going to give you $10. That's really all I got. And that was probably like friends from college, just like maybe people we don't really know, but they're like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to give you $10 because that's what, 2 coffees. So you didn't get anything for that, but
you just got to thank you.
We said thank you. Next tier was a link to the film. And so this was $30, which I think it's good to have an easy item that is in the range of $20 to $50 and we kind of knew that this was going to be our most popular. So for example, 37 people gave us $30 and they got an exclusive 24-hour link to watch the film as it premiered, because when it premiered, it would be very private still, which is free. It's free for us. You get a free link to the film. Next option, I believe, was $50, which is what we called bragging rights. And this is fun. So you get to be in the credits of the film. Another free item for us. And so by giving us $50, your name gets to be in the credits that you donated to the film, which is cool.
Which is really cool. And it was what? We put it like under like special thanks?
Yeah, special thanks. And
that's so easy.
This actually was our most purchased item. So I think it's because it's in that 50 or under. It's a healthy number.
Right. It's like 39. Showing up to a birthday. It's like showing up to a birthday and being like, well, I don't want to be like too stingy. Like, I'm not going to give you like $10, $15. I'm going to give you $50. So I feel good about myself, but it's not like breaking the bank.
Exactly. It's enough to show that you care without, putting yourself in debt. Up next was another popular one. We might have had one in the middle, actually. We had a handwritten Sri Lanka postcard. And so the next little category of perks is when it gets to be a handheld item. And so everything like $75 and up, which is a lot of money, requires more work. So we had a really good friend that we met in Sri Lanka, and she made Marine, shout out to Marine. She made all these most beautiful designs of Sri Lanka and different scenes. And so we got them printed on postcards. And so what I did is I would write a handwritten thank you note on one and then send a couple in a little envelope. So you got a handwritten thank you from us, as well as a couple extra to write thank you or give someone a card.
Mm-hmm. And then there was $100 option, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a photo print.
Yeah, really nice prints too. They were hacked. I still owe you one, Leah. But
Thank you. I need that. I just need to visit you. Okay.
It's in my closet. That's where you'll keep all your crowdfunding perks, is in your closet until you realize you ordered too many. Here we are a year later, and I still have them.
I guess, that's a good point. What did you learn anything from the perks? I think what you said earlier about like giving away as much digital stuff is really smart. Any other like tips about choosing your perks wisely, I guess? Because you're putting it out there. You're saying like, look, come get it. So know when you put it out there, like you're going to have to back it up,
Yeah. And I think this is a point that's, if you decide to do a crowdfunding campaign, it's really important to think about, what you're funding. You're funding a film. Who is going to donate? And realistically, with a crowdfunding campaign for a short documentary, it's pretty much just going to be your friends and family and maybe their friends and family. I don't.
And potentially some people that are interested in the topic, like if you reach out to those people directly, but they're not necessarily going to like see it randomly, you know?
Exactly. Well, it's like your pool is, you're not gonna, unless, I don't know how you, we can't give you the tips to go viral on a crowdfunding campaign because we didn't necessarily go viral. That being said,
But I will say you did get featured on IndieGoGo afterwards. Didn't they hit you up and they were like, "Look, I want to do an article about you."
absolutely. Okay, yeah, well, I got to come back to that point because this
Okay,
point that
okay,
I'm making
continue,
is that,
continue.
like, for the most part, you know who's going to be donating to your film. And so it's like you want to make it like feasible and like pertinent to the film as well. So it's like, this is a
Exactly.
surf film. So, like, one of the options of a perks was like, oh, Jordyn will hop in the water and we'll do a surf photo shoot because that's in our wheelhouse. I even think we talked about like you doing a photo shoot because that's a skill that you have. Like, you can go take a photo shoot for people.
Right, you can get creative, and one of our co-producers, Amanda, we used her photos for the or some of her photos for the photo print. So, thinking about who's in your, what skills can you provide, whether it's a photo shoot or yeah, in relation to your film, but then also who's in your corner that could make some creative assets. Like if you have a movie poster, like that one is like a pretty popular thing
Oh
that I see a
yeah,
lot of people do.
a lot of, we had movie posters as like an add-on too. It's kind of funny
Mm-hmm.
how you can make it like a whole shopping experience. They're like, oh, like, we're already buying a film link, like, should we just add on a $10 poster?
Like,
Sure,
why not?
why
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
And like other fun, like, we did a screening ticket, so you will give you a ticket to like one of the film festivals and you get to go and experience it in like a theater or something.
Yeah.
That being said, only one person got that one, probably because it was expensive. But it's fun to be creative and something that's pertinent to your film or like a skill set that you can bring. Maybe you send someone a basket with like popcorn and snacks and you send them a DVD with the film. Like, that could be a
I
fun
like
one
that.
too.
Yeah.
That
You
being
can
said,
you
I
can get
didn't want to
creative.
send popcorn and snacks to people in the mail because, I don't know
The
how much that is
chocolate
to
would
ship.
melt.
The chocolate would melt. Exactly. So we could
Yeah,
have
think
had a
about that
million
stuff.
and one perks, but it's fun to get creative, and I think we were really successful in that $100 and under range. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, timeline. Like how did we wrap our heads around how long it was going to take us to prep, the campaign itself, like just kind of like big picture, what was our crowdfunding timeline, would you say?
I mean, it started with our end date because we're like, what's a really good day to launch this? And that was enough in the future, but not too far away. So I believe it, I don't know when we started talking about the crowdfunding campaign, maybe
But probably in the
late
beginning of the
January.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's early in the
sometime.
year, and March 8th is International Women's Day. Can't
Boom.
can't really get better than that, to be honest. So
Yeah. So picking a strategic launch date is really important.
yeah,
Because I think I honestly think that we got a lot of donations on that day because it was like hot and poppin'. And like they were like, hell yeah, it's International Women's Day. Like I felt good today because I donated to this film.
exactly. It gives something. It's that whole point. It's like you're giving someone something to believe in, a cause to support. And on Women's Day, people are already like pro women, and like we had an all female crew for this film, so it was just like such a great way to support women, and that's why it was truly the most perfect day. And so
Yeah.
once we had our end date,
Then we
I'm
worked
actually going to go way
backwards.
back. I'm going to go backwards. So we got our
Okay.
end date. Our launch date was going to be March 8th. Another key, we can go back later and dive into more details, but March 7th, we did a soft launch. So that's when we reached out to people that we knew were going to donate, and we're like, hi, like, you need to put money in on March 7th when we send you the link so that on March 8th, it looks like it already has momentum.
How did you know this? Or did you just like have that intuition? Because I feel like this is a huge hack. Like this is so smart.
It's a huge hack, and thank you to the internet. I think even IndieGoGo has like a
Like a
suggested
FAQ. Yeah,
FAQ
yeah.
and like tips for having a successful crowdfunding campaign. And they give like a little paragraph, but so that's kind of how you and I each, I think, had 5 or 6 people were like,
Yeah. Yeah, I like texted my mom. I texted Matt, like all the people that are like your close friends that, yeah, again, you know that they're going to donate. Be like, okay, you need to put your money in now so
Hmm.
that when tomorrow we launch this thing and like strangers and are looking at it, they're like, oh, cool. Wow. Like they've already raised $1,000. Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's like seeing the
exactly.
progress, right? Like seeing that someone has already put money in there. It's exactly, I was a cashier and the great tip when I had my tip jar is I put like a $5 and like I'd put like $8 in there, like a $5 and like three ones to like even before I started working, just to like show that, hey, look, I'm good at my job. Like I'm already earning tips because there's something like kind of weird about it being like completely empty. You're like, like I don't feel super compelled to like put money in there.
Yeah, you're like, I
But
don't want to be the first person. And
right.
exactly, I couldn't agree more. That's totally what it was. And I actually, now that we're talking through this, I do believe like Indiegogo even gave like a goal. Like you should try to have 10% of your goal
Mm.
like dedicated.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty
like,
sure we said like Jordyn, you're responsible for like trying to get $500 like on March 7th, and Leah, you're responsible for like giving $500. I think we tried to do something like that.
yeah, I think you're
And
right.
and if I remember correctly, like I asked my like I know that some people donated, but it was like kind of getting down to like the next day, and I was like, okay, like I think I just have to like put some of my own money in this. And what
Yeah.
I ended up doing, hot tip y'all, if you want to do this and you want to copy this, I think it's a great idea. I donated, I don't know, $100 $200 or something, but I put a different name. And what's so funny, like I think I said like Linda something, I forget the last name that I put down.
Walker.
um Walker.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Walker.
It was something. I know the first name was Linda. And
Yeah.
then what was hilarious is that later on, we were prepping the special thanks credits, and I was watching it. I was QCing it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like my fictitious name, Linda, got into the special thanks, and I was like, "Okay, we can delete that
Linda
because."
Hampton. That's what your name
Oh,
was.
Linda Hampton. Okay, guys, I was Linda Hampton. However much money I donated on that day was to make it look like we were on the right track, which to a point it worked. So thank you, Linda.
Yep. No, that was fabulous. That was so funny. I forgot about the credits. But
And it's just like a restaurant, right? Like a fancy restaurant is going to have a soft launch. Like you're going to have your like influencers and PR people and like your close friends check it out first. Like you're going to
absolutely.
do that. You're going to build some hype first. So I think
Yeah.
that's a super hot tip.
And speaking of building hype, that gets us to our next timeline bullet point, which was probably anywhere from 5 to 7 days before the soft launch, is when you and I and friends started, being like, hey, we're dropping our crowdfunding campaign soon. So that was on
Mhm.
social media, that was on Facebook, that was on Instagram. It was all like, hey guys, March 8th, like this is where you should donate your money to on International Women's Day. And
Right.
I think that I potentially also put it into some Facebook groups I'm a part of, like Women Who Surf, like-minded community Facebook pages.
Very, very
So
smart.
that was
Yeah.
probably 5 to 7 days in advance. Um, and then I think the month before is when maybe I'm skipping over stuff here, but I think the month before is when you came up here to Santa Barbara and we made the campaign.
That is true because like we were living separately and we're just like, gosh, like we just need to like hash this out together. And I think it was like our joint idea that, we really needed like a crowdfunding campaign or
Mhm.
like a crowdfunding video, excuse me. We needed a video because, and I'm pretty sure Indiegogo says it too, like your chances of someone donating like is much better if you have a video explaining why you need this money. So we're like, yeah, let's make a crowdfunding video. So I drove up to Santa Barbara. We filmed on our own equipment. We filmed in your front yard, Jordyn.
Mhm.
And yeah, we basically like introduced ourselves. We showed a little bit of a trailer. And yeah, we spelled out why we needed this money.
Yeah. I mean, essentially the video, it was a video form of all of the copy that was on the page.
Right.
So if you're someone who's like, oh, I want to watch this video, you get essentially all of the information that you would get if you scrolled down and read every part of the section.
And
And
what was in the copy, I guess? Like, what did we all talk about in the video and in the copy?
so, I mean, this comes with like prepping our entire film. Like Leah and I went ham on our decks because we
Right.
were applying to grants as well. But so we were able to pull a lot of information that we had already written, not only for grant applications, but really just to help us like wrap our brain around the story and get super dialed going into post production. So I'm looking at our campaign now, and we started off with the impact, or we started off with a log line and a photo.
So you need to know the story. You need to have your log line. You need to have like the mission. We said our goal in creating this film is to shift the cultural mindset that Sri Lankan girls don't surf. So someone coming to the page that doesn't know much, they can read that and be like, okay, that's their mission. I support that mission. Like they don't even have to like watch the video. They don't have to do anything. Like they can read that and be like, yep, you earned my $10.
Exactly. That's your hook. You got to start with your hook. And like on an IndieGoGo site, it's the biggest text. It's in bold. That is
stands
why
out.
you're here. That's why you're on the page. And then we got into the impact, the mission, and like how this story is going to help. And then we really broke down like the synopsis of the film. And then we had a section what we need and what you get. So that's when we said, we're aiming to raise $10,000. And here's the breakdown, $5,500 is going to us making the film, $3,000 to post-production, color, sound, mix, score, and then $1,500 of distribution, which included film festivals and tours and screenings. And I think this section is important because people yes, they're donating to the film, but it just gives them an even more
Right. It legitimizes it. It's like, okay, 10K is a lot. Like, what are you going to do with that? And you have to confidently answer and be like, well, like it costs this, it costs this. So even if you don't know exactly how you're going to spend it, like still break it down in a digestible way that somebody can look at it and be like, okay, this person knows what they're doing with their money.
Exactly. And then the very last section is other ways you can help. So that's where we linked our Facebook page, our Instagram, our website. And it was really just our last hurrah is like, if you can't donate money, then share our campaign because that's, if anything, more helpful. So share it with your audience and let's like get this campaign out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, that was the main strategy. And then anything else you want to add about like the video? It's pretty much like we basically just made stressful. We did a lot of takes.
Let's be honest, Leah. That was one of the craziest days ever.
You were so burnt out afterwards.
Yeah, we went to this coffee shop. I got a cold brew, and I don't normally drink coffee.
We wrote the script and filmed it in the same day. That's what exactly. It was. We drove up and we're like, what do we do? Like, how do we write this? Like, I don't even know. Like, how are we going to like have this like conversation with one another,
And then it was hard because not only did you have to like know what you're going to say, but you had to make sure it fit in like 3 minutes or less.
Right.
Including like, should we put some of the footage from the film into it?
Which we did, which I think is super important because then it shows if you have it, proof of concept and the overall style and the quality too, right? Exactly. Like they're like, oh, like that looks good. Like that makes sense,
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the structure of the video it is, right? It opens up with the trailer, a shortened version of the trailer for maybe 30, 40 seconds. And then it fades out and it's me and Leah sitting there. And it looks like we did it all in one take. And I don't know why.
Which we did, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious because now that I'm looking back, why didn't we have a 2-camera setup where we could cut back and forth?
I don't know.
Instead, we were gung-ho on doing it in one take, and it just had to be one perfect take.
And that was it. That was the one take. That was perfect.
I think it took us like 5 hours. We shot until there was no more light outside.
And then there were like lawnmowers going by, people like on these like crazy bikes, and we're like, please, for the life of it, just stop for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like we can get through this.
Yeah, no, it was such a crazy day. But it turned out because truly we got an outside we got one of our biggest donations was just for fun from a friend of a friend. They gave us $1,000 and they're like, it's because of the video. Like the video was so intentional and thoughtful. Like you took that extra step and we saw that. We saw how much you believed in this story that, we're going to give you $1,000.
Hell yeah. That's
And I was like,
amazing.
thank you.
And what about social media? How early did we start the Instagram? How did we grow that following? And then also, how do we leverage our personal social media to raise this money via
Yeah.
crowdfunding? Because that's basically the way that we did it, like was through our personal socials.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I don't believe that every film, especially a short documentary, deserves to have an Instagram. But I think with this film in particular, we just wanted to, and it made sense to have somewhere. We just knew that we were down to just go so all into this film. Like we were gonna just squeeze the juice out of it. Like, what's the biggest we could take it? And so that's why we made an Instagram, because we're like, we're gonna send it to so many festivals. We're gonna try to get. We were such dreamers at the beginning, and I think we were successful. It was like we wanted to create a community around this film because it's such an important story. And so that's why we made the Instagram. I mean, we got like over 1,000 followers on it now, which I think
over
is impressive.
time.
It's
And
impressive.
now that the film is in film festivals, like I get notifications that it gets tagged all the time. Like
Yeah.
I think that's definitely, I agree with you. Not every short documentary needs its own social media account because it's work. It's like a whole nother business that you're starting. And we didn't post on it like all the time, but it is really nice that when you do get to distribution, or like if you're applying to grants or people looking at trying to accept you to a film festival, if they see that you have 500, even if it's like 500 followers or whatever, they're like, oh, okay, that means that there's 500 people that already care about it.
Yeah.
And that means that, oh yeah, I should program it,
Yeah, and it has a place where it can live. Because, like, I mean, it's funny enough, we had a website and it was very well made as well, the branding of the film, but it just gives it a home because a free home. Like, the reason we don't have a website is I'm not going to pay, $10 a month to have a website for a film that's, done, right? But Instagram's forever and people will always be able to go back and, repost stuff on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We are like Waves Instagram is where we posted. You and I used our own pages, which collectively is like 5,000 people.
Right. And something in digging into and remembering all the stuff that we did, we also put together a Google folder that we were able to share with like our close network of friends and family and anyone that like worked on the film, for example, that could then also share it out. That wasn't like me and Jordyn. And I thought that was like brilliant because in there, like in the folder, like there was kind of like a one sheet page that was like, hey, thanks for helping, like here's who you tag, like here's like the log line of the film, like here's like the donation link, like kind of like a one page sheet of like, hey, if you're gonna help us spread the message, like we're going to make it super, super easy for you to like copy and paste and like find all the information. And then, we shared like Instagram story templates. We shared Instagram feed templates. And so that anyone that we felt like could help or like post about it could post about it. And it was super easy for them.
We are so smart. I completely forgot
right?
We did that. That's
it was like
genius.
Isn't it genius? Because yeah, like imagine all the people that worked on your film or like all your close film friends or like just that extra network of people that are willing to help you out. Like they really do want to help you out, but everyone's busy. Everyone's got like stuff on their plate. You make it super easy peasy. They're going to do it.
It's stupid simple. Canva was our best friend.
Yes, we use Canva.
And like this goes even into the campaign. So pre-campaign, we had all these beautiful slides with links to the film and all the people you could tag. And then also throughout the campaign, which I think originally our campaign was just going to be 30 days and we picked 30 days because we, it's like we didn't have time to keep it up for 60. Like that's just a whole extra month that we're going to have to babysit it. And it's like, I think it's easy. It's almost like you don't want to go to an event that has a 6-hour gap. It's like if you make an
Right.
event 3
The
hours,
sprint.
2
Yeah.
hours are going to be like really, really good instead of people dropping in every few hours. And that's kind of how
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. It's like 30 days.
To like go
With
ham.
an ambitious goal, that's enough time to like go berserko. And it doesn't, if people see like, oh, it ends soon,
Like,
like
oh yeah, it
they're not going to put it
incentivizes you.
off. They're not going to put it
Yeah.
off. And
Right.
so throughout the campaign, I think it's like we made all these other Canva templates. Like, so once a week we'd post, what's the number we're at? Like, how much more do we need? Leah had a
Right.
great $2 Tuesdays where she'd put it on her story. Kind of one of those where it's like you'd Venmo Leah and she'd do
Yeah, like a
the
bingo, like a
tic-tac-toe.
bingo, a
Bingo.
bingo thing where it's like, hey, like you want to donate? Like here's $5, $10, like in the middle is $20, and it's all those friends again that want to support you. Maybe they don't have that much money, but
Mhm.
like it's a fun little social media game, and you
Exactly.
can like connect your Venmo. That was something that I felt like, and that adds up. You do that, people see that you're trying, they want to support you. So yeah, that was really helpful too. Yeah, those types of templates, and then also like I feel like those templates and our strategy was successful because we also had those assets.
Mhm.
I took those photos while we were in Sri Lanka. Like and also like yes, you can pull stills from the movie, like of course, like you always can do that, but there's such power in getting BTS images while you're on site, because if you want to get into a magazine, if you want to get into an article, if you want to make these Instagram story assets, you want to do you need high quality photos. So that's something I feel like I kind of had that inkling that it was super important. And so I was like, yeah, we should definitely do that. But now looking back on it, like I think the fact that we had beautiful photos like totally inspired people to like want to put us on the front page, or want to shout us out, want to put it on the Instagram because it was so gorgeous. Like your
Yeah.
cinematography was gorgeous and I had these photos. So it was
Yeah.
like a no-brainer. And Sanu's gorgeous, of course.
Yeah, no, literally we just had like it was like a beautiful campaign for the film, everything. It was just such a strong brand presence. Like we're like you could look at any photo and you're like, yeah, that's weird. Like, wait, we had a color palette. We had text.
A
Like
font. We had an original font.
We had original font and like things, this is how the size that you make for it. Like everything was so beautifully aesthetically curated. Like heck yeah, tap us on
Heck yeah.
the shoulder for that, because I think every little bit counted, because now we can talk about like how it was successful, because you're right, IndieGoGo emailed us towards the end of the campaign and they were like, hey, this is beautiful, like we see you're so close to your goal, like we'd love to do like a full on FAQ with you as a filmmaker, and also just like launch this to our email list. And so I mean, that kind of boosted us, because if you remember, like we were like 3 days away from the end of the campaign.
I kind of don't remember.
I'm only remembering now that we're talking about it, but like 3
Okay.
days away from the campaign, I think we still had $2,500. And so this is where it's important to go back to like how freaking crucial social media is like, and expectations of having a crowdfunding campaign is like, it is so much work. The second you aren't posting about it constantly, you're gonna get a dip, because every time Leigh and I were at the same timeline, like posting to a group, like the more buzz you like, it's almost like, you just have to flood it into an algorithm, and it's like the more you can get at certain times, like the better, not so much sporadic. Because yeah, we were like $2,500 away, 3 days away, and you and I were like, oh my god, we worked so hard, like we can't not hit our goal, like this is gonna suck.
And then IndieGoGo reached out to you and they put it out to their email list? I honestly forgot that. Is that true?
That I don't even know if
Okay.
we got that many donations from it.
Right. I'm like, I don't remember that.
That's when you and I went ham. Like we're like, okay, like
last day, like come on,
like
folks.
who cares about like how annoying we're gonna be? Like we need to bug everyone we know again. So I think they sent out an email every single day to our email list the last 3 days, like, please, like, share it, please. Like, we're so close. You need to help us.
Which brings me to email lists, just like quick tidbit, because I feel like you're really good at finding and keeping and managing emails of people that are interested. Like, can you tell, or like, do you have any tips for finding emails or keeping it organized or making sure that you're, emailing the right people?
I love this. Leah told me that I was a good email person before we got on the call, and I had no idea what she was talking about.
You find good emails. Like
Yeah.
you connect with like-minded people and you save them.
I think I'm just really good at like stalking people on social media and like
stalk people.
Yeah, you stalk people, you figure it out. Like there's so many ways you can get people's information. Exactly.
Instagram.
And what I did on my email list for this is like I just went on Gmail, and I couldn't give you the exact way to figure it out, but there's a way to like get a list of every single person you've ever emailed and like put it into an Excel sheet. And like hopefully who most of them are. I think I got to a certain point where I was like, you know what? I can email like info at like my TV, my Wi-Fi people. Why not? Like I'll send it to them.
You sent it to your Wi-Fi people?
I just was like, why spend time taking them off my email list? Like,
right.
They
Might
me,
as well.
Maybe I should spam them back. I emailed like every professor. I think accidentally on LinkedIn, like added everybody to my.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you gotta be shameless about it. Like if you're gonna crowdfund, you gotta be shameless. If you don't fully believe in it, then it's not the right fit for crowdfunding. I feel like that's maybe a good.
You're gonna be annoying. You're gonna have to touch each person in your contacts 30 times probably, maybe a little less, but like you're gonna hit them up, you're gonna put it in front of them when you talk about the campaign. You're gonna hit them up the day before the campaign. You're gonna hit them up hardcore the day it launches and the day after. You're gonna do it once or twice a week, every week till it ends. And then when you're close to your deadline, you're gonna email them 3 more times. And then you're gonna email them like, oh my God, we hit our goal. Like, what is that? 15 times you're gonna bug somebody. Like you are.
It better be worth it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna be. So you have to, otherwise you can't accept. You won't be able to have success.
You can't do it
or it's gonna suck.
Yeah, you have to be a salesperson. I like that too. You have to be a salesperson about it. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Okay, wow, that was a lot. I think
that's a lot. Hope you had your notepad out, baby.
Yeah, hope everyone wrote that down. A couple of closing questions for you, Jordyn. What has been inspiring you lately?
What has been inspiring me lately is...
Yeah, like any books, podcasts, other films, like just like, I don't know, whatever. What's been keeping you inspired?
Honestly, it's been having more alone time and like truly doing nothing, because last year, and probably because a lot of it was last year was crazy. It was the year after COVID was sort of people weren't locked down anymore, so it was like 0 to 1,000, and I just got super burnt out, and I actually had like literally no creative juju, zero capacity. I was barely working enough to be able, I don't know, I was just so overstimulated. And now I'm just learning that it's so important as a creative person to take breaks and not to always force things. Like if you have a deadline, obviously you're going to push through it, but like, yeah, just taking time to like go on a walk. I love walks. Walks are the most inspiring thing. So yeah, just taking more me time, focusing on balancing work and play, and
which you're good at.
A lot of play.
Yeah, you inspire me to do more play. I'm getting better at it, but I think it's an ebb and flow kind of thing. But
it's our culture. It's not our fault. We're just trying to decondition.
Us Americans, what's wrong with us? Like, honestly, what's wrong with us? Wow, we talked about a lot of things, and looking back on this, we're pretty smart. I think that the internet is wonderful and our intuition was pretty on point. And Jordyn, thank you for allowing me to be a producer on this film and for being my first guest on this podcast. I know that you'll probably come back on later, but this has been so fun, and hopefully people, learn something from this. We shared the real numbers. We told you exactly what we did. Hopefully this helps all of you crowdfund and raise money for your films. So thank you, Jordyn.
Thank you, Leah, and to all the fans out there. Go take a loan out. Just be passionate. If your heart's behind it, it will succeed.
Go take a loan and go take a walk. From Jordyn Romero.
There you go.
Okay, guys, that is a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe. It will help us reach more people. Also, feel free to reach out to us directly at talkdoctome@gmail.com. Take care, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.